Hi and welcome back to Night Child Reviews. This is just a little short video. I'm back in front of the camera, which I'm feeling pretty nervous about, but I wanted to do just a little series of short videos where I talk about whatever's going on in the Prince world. These are not scripted videos, as I'm sure you'll be able to tell, and we'll still be doing the reviews with Mr. Ant's World Prince. We'll be looking at the Prince albums, Prince tours, everything in the Prince world. But I just want to pop on here today to talk about the Peach and Black podcast. Now, when I first got into Prince, I'm sure this may be true of a lot of Prince fans, I was the only one of my friends who was really into Prince. A few of my friends were kind of casual fans, like the odd song here and there, but there was only one person who was really into Prince, and that was me. And it was when I discovered the internet, and eventually the Peach and Black podcast was one of the first things that came up, recommended to me. And I listened to it, and honestly, it felt like I wasn't alone. It felt like there were other Prince fans out there, and incredibly knowledgeable Prince fans. The Peach and Black podcast have, they're just so funny, so humorous, so knowledgeable about what they do. They care passionately about what they do, and the detail they go into is unprecedented. It really is. So this video today really is about two things. It's firstly about appreciating what Peach and Black have contributed to the Prince community, what they've done and the legacy they leave, but also to urge you just to thank them, just to leave a comment on their Twitter, their Facebook, or to leave a comment on their YouTube videos, because I think it's really important to appreciate what they've done. Now, I'll give you a little bit of context to this. Peach and Black, after I think it's about 11-12 years now, have decided to call it a day. They're not going to be doing any more podcasts. They've removed their podcasts from the streaming services. They are putting selected podcasts up on YouTube, so check out their podcasts on the YouTube channel. All the links will be below this video. And I can just sound that point, I have no right, absolutely no right, to ask anything of them, but I would love it if they put their podcast back on the streaming sites for people to enjoy, because I think it's an amazing legacy, and I really want people to enjoy and appreciate what they've done over this time. So I'd really like it, and I have no right to ask, because they're putting so much, but I really want people to appreciate those episodes that they've created. Now, Peach and Black, as you know, are Australian. They comprise of MC, player, captain and toe jam, and they all bring something different to the mix, and that's what works. Sometimes you get a chemistry that just works so well, with the musical knowledge, the in-depth appreciation of the Prince's styles, of the instruments he used and the way he used them, often in very innovative ways. You have the humour, and there's a real Prince nerd humour. The amount of times I've walked down the street and laughed my head off because of something they said that only Prince fans would get, some kind of really in joke that you think only Prince fans would find that funny, only Prince fans would have the knowledge to really appreciate that. But also the fact that the care and attention they go into, because they really go into detailed appreciation. I mean, the podcasts are an hour, a couple of hours long. Some are in series. They go into non-album tracks, side projects, associated artists, and they really appreciate. They can talk about one song for half an hour easily, and they really it's something that in this kind of culture, and I'm as guilty of it as everybody. In this culture, we want everything like that. We want everything in 20 seconds. We want everything quickly, and we don't always take time to appreciate the intricacies, the depth, the analysis of Prince's work. And I think that's something that Peach and Black excel at, and very few people can get close to them. They are the original, as far as I'm concerned, and they have left a remarkable legacy for the Prince community. They obviously got to meet Prince. Prince was obviously a great admirer of their podcast, and they got to meet Prince, and that's on one of their podcasts. And I think that shows you the high esteem in which they were held. It's sad to see them go, because they have given so much, but then also I understand that, and speaking personally from Owen, it is a lot of work for what they do. From what I understand, a lot of the background stuff, they do a lot of work. They spend hours and hours recording the podcast, sorting out the technical issues. They edit it, and I know it takes a long time to do that, and it's a lot of work. And Captain said something the other day which really struck home. He said that they're basically creating something for free, you know, it's no charge, and putting a lot of time and effort into it. And the one thing that would really make their day, which they would really appreciate, is just a thank you. Just I love that podcast, or you know, great point about this, or just a comment, just something, you know, to give some feedback, because that's what they live for, the feedback from the community, to know that, you know, what they're creating has a value and has an interest. And I think that's such an important thing, and such a simple thing. It doesn't cost us anything. We can just say, do you know what, we appreciate what you're doing, we appreciate you guys, and you've created, you know, something that made me laugh, something that made me cry, something that made me think about Prince's work in a new way. I found out some new facts. I just was engaged for an hour and a half. I mean, you know, these are not people, with the greatest respect, who are top TV executives earning hundreds of thousands of pounds a year. These are people who are doing it entirely for free. This is a real labour of love. And, you know, if I could urge you to do anything, and I've never asked for anything really, but if I could just ask for somebody to leave comments on their Twitter page, their YouTube page, their Facebook page, just to say, you know, we appreciate you guys. You guys have made, quite frankly, a contribution to the Prince community that I don't think, you know, it's going to be very hard to get anywhere close to Peach and Black, and certainly no one's going to be exactly the same as Peach and Black. Nobody's going to bring what they brought. I really believe that, and I hope that you know, I hope that they change their mind, but I also understand their reasons for not. They're putting a tremendous labour of love. They need a break more than anybody, and it's a shame that it's ended. It really is. I just want to say thank you to them. Basically, there was a time in my life when I had to walk somewhere. Took me about an hour and a half, hour 45, and I'd walk back. And every week I would listen to their podcasts, and they really helped me at a time when I was struggling in my life, and it made such a difference to me. It really did. And we don't appreciate necessarily all they've done and all they've put in. Recently we had the Sign of the Times, not the Super Deluxe, but the reissue of the DVD, and they were chosen to do the commentary on that, and that's a fantastic job. That's a really, you know, superb job they did on that Blu-ray and DVD, and it just shows you the kind of quality they have. They just gel so well, and once you listen to their podcast, once you appreciate the quality, very little, you know, can compare to it. So firstly, I'd like to say, please, Peach and Black, I've got no right to ask, but if you ever consider putting your episodes back on streaming services, that would be fantastic. Equally, we'll also look out for your YouTube episodes, your YouTube podcasts, which are currently, you know, being uploaded on your YouTube channel now, and hopefully people will check that out and subscribe to the Peach and Black. But thirdly, just to people, please, just say what Peach and Black has meant to you. Has Peach and Black been a part of your Prince community? Because there's a lot of people really passionate about Prince, and like any organisation, I think it's really important, no matter what organisation it is, whether it's, I don't know, a school, a hospital, an army, whatever, is to appreciate the people who have given their service and who have helped to create this community. And the Prince community wouldn't be what it was without Peach and Black. I really think that. So just want to say thank you, and we do appreciate you guys, and it may not always seem like it, but we shouldn't take you for granted, because you talk about Prince in a way that very few people do. And I think anybody who's listened to their podcast would agree that there's very little that can beat a Peach and Black podcast. You put it on, you go out for a walk or something, and it's just fantastic. Every album, you know, lots of different things, like I say, associated artists, you name it. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say today. Just thank you. And I'll be doing a few little more of these, just in between videos, just in between reviews, just to sort of keep in touch with the community, because I feel it's really important for us to come together as a community. The Prince community isn't necessarily the largest in the world or anything like that, but I really think that we have an amazing community. We're full of so many amazing people, and we really should, you know, do everything we can to promote Prince's work and to enjoy, embrace and discuss Prince's work. And you know, anything we can do to further that is fantastic, because this man changed my life so much. I know he's changed many other people's lives, and so I think that's key to what we do. But today it's all about Peach and Black and my absolute admiration, but also just my debt to them. When I first got involved in making videos, it was Peach and Black and Jester Jenkins who were the two people who were really involved and really inspired me. And Peach and Black were the people who they were fantastic to me when I first started out, and Captain and the guys, they've always been amazing, and I appreciate their support, and they've always been really remarkable. And if there was some kind of purple award, some kind of Prince award for contributions over the last decade, there's no doubt in my mind it would have to go to Peach and Black. So thank you, and please leave a comment for them, just something to say, do you know what, you guys, you rock.